You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
A lot has been said over the years. Welcome back, folks. A lot's been said over the years about rugged individualism. That used to be a way of life for human beings on this planet, to be a rugged individual, to be in charge of yourself, literally responsible for everything that happens in your own lives, folks. Nothing has changed except the human mentality, the human attitude, which has, over the last 100 years, been conditioned to look to government to solve its problems, to fix problems, to help out where possible. The advent of the welfare state, not charity, folks. Charity used to be church and private individuals helping others, but looking to government to mandate, require people to pay a tax so that government can help others. Because, that's what government's for, right? I don't think so, but government sure does. People that run government sure do. People that want taxes and power, influence, social engineers can use money, holding that money up, a little money carrot in front of people and leading them in new directions. Folks, that's not real life. That is manufactured crap. And in an emergency, like shit hitting the fan, war, power outage, food shortages, super economic downturns, which we're looking to get into a downturn, super cycle downturn of not so good stuff, right? Rugged individualism, folks, it's going to be required, right? Government's going to tell you, well, we can't help you out, right? The reports are going to come out from government and private sector. Well, but we have food problems, we have fuel problems, we have electricity grid problems, we have medicine problems, we've got educational issues. Oh yeah, we have military requirements. All of these things, folks, are your SHTF. It's your fan. It's your shit. It's your wall. It's your problem. Don't expect any help. If you approach life, this is rather a philosophical view. If you approach life not expecting help from the government, then what you do is you set yourself up for the maximum amount of success. That is to say, you go through and you make everything your own bed and lie in it. If good things come your way, if you get some contracts, some help, if the economy goes up, hey, it's all for you. You're positioned, right? But that's not how life typically works. And we're finding out about that right now, that the government has done all it can. It's shot both barrels. It's blown its wad. And the crap keeps coming, folks. Now, in California, Governor Newsom is proposing $400 gas cards for California car owners. $400 gas cards, for some people, that's a whole year's worth of gas. For other people, that's a month. For other people, it's a week. Depends on your job, doesn't it? Once again, government trying to fix problems by throwing money at things. It always works, doesn't it? It's still your SHTF. And folks, you're going to have to pay for that. We all have to pay for that. Now, what's interesting is in California, Governor Newsom wants this, but he's blaming Putin for the rise in gas prices. He's blaming Putin. That makes the most sense. You see, when you're a rugged individual, when your nation, your state, your county, your city is strong, it's strong because people are working hard and responsible for themselves. They're not waiting for someone to tell them what to do or waiting for a handout. Right? Now, in our world today, now we're seeing it at the state level. This is all Putin's fault. Yeah, wait, Mr. Newsom, until other economic consequences show up there, food and fuel consequences. Right? I think there's a strike going on in a California refinery, one of the biggest or the biggest on the West Coast in the state of California. The workers are saying, we want a bunch more money or we're not going to work. In fact, we're not going to work until we get more money. That's a strike. That's not Putin doing that, folks. That's not Russia. That's not Kim Jong-un of North Korea. That's not Xi Jinping of China. That is the unions doing that. It's going to cause more pain, right? So we all have to, one, see what the hell is really going on. If you're in the front car of that roller coaster, you got the best seat to know, but also understand, well, it doesn't matter whether they strike or not. It's still my SHTF. It's still my shit sandwich to eat, right? Don't expect anyone to help, folks. Go at this all. Don't wait for the handout. Get prepared. Don't wait for the government to tell you it's okay. They won't tell you until it's too late, right? How many times have you said or heard someone else say this? If I had known about that sooner, I'd have made a different decision. I'd have jumped in. I'd have jumped all over that opportunity if I'd known about it earlier. Well, if you're paying attention, you are hearing about things earlier here on The Prepared Mind. Food has gone up 100% on most of the things I buy. Gasoline certainly has in the last year, 18 months. So the food I have is now doubled in value. Folks, I have $1,000 worth of food. It's now worth $2,000. That's the replacement cost. That's like an investment. I knew about that going into this, that food prices were going up, up, up. So I got in, right? I'm responsible for myself. I benefited from this decision. Are you benefiting from your decisions, or are you chasing your tail? Are you back in the roller coaster and you can't see what's coming until it's too late and it's all over the top of you, right? And we're going to get a whole lot more of this blame game, folks. Blaming Putin or Russia for every problem, folks, is already here, right? Blaming Russia for inflation, high gas prices, high food prices. It's ridiculous, but it's a reality, right? It's our SHTF. We already had the US government inflation numbers before this Russia issue was released, showing that the problems had started, that the problems were caused by others. You know, what I'm waiting for, folks, is for Biden and the administration, followed by Europe, to blame Putin retroactively for Cerveza bug and all the damage that caused. Right? They've been trying to blame Russia for everything, folks, right? The US government has caused this. It is its shit sandwich. But this is what you can expect from government. Government never accepts responsibility. Government never says, well, we're to blame. Right now, they're showing us how they're blaming everything on everyone else. Right? They're not going to step up, folks. They're not going to help. Don't expect any help. Right? What did I report about Europe yesterday? They're going to throw billions of euros in Europe at businesses to help pay for the high fuel costs. They're not going to give money to the people. Now, of course, Newsom is saying $400 gas cards for the people. Right? But Europe wants to bail out their banks. So they pay the businesses the money, take out a loan, give the money to businesses. The businesses pay their loans back to the banks with the money. And now the taxpayers, folks, which is both business and people, get to pay for this money, this handout. Right? In other words, they just traded one shit sandwich for another. They said, look, I don't want to eat any more of this shit sandwich. Let's put it off for a couple of days and then come back and bite some more. And that's what they're doing. All they're doing is borrowing from the future to pay bills today. And in the future, that shit sandwich is still there. More SHTF. And that's just the economic version. The military version, same story. They've been putting off and putting off and putting off, right? Now I'm talking about the Russians dealing with NATO and the US, European Union, with its advancement towards Russia. Finally, Russia was pushed to the point where they had to do something. Right? They can't blame anyone else. Russia can't. They can't blame anyone else. It's their fault. They allowed it to get that bad. Right? But we know, folks, that we are responsible for ourselves. Whether we caused it or we ignored problems and now they've caught up to us, it's our issue. Don't expect anyone's help. Get prepared now at thepreparedmind.club. Get prepared here on Patreon. The Prepared Mind at Patreon is a $2 premium subscription. You get a lot of articles and videos on the backside, right? You get links to them so you can watch and get information not allowed in mainstream social media because they don't like it. They don't want that information out there. Why? What's so dangerous about it? Well, it contains a lot of truth and a lot of facts. And there's a narrative, folks. There's an official story, The government's telling you that the shit sandwich you're eating wasn't caused by them. Well, it's your SHTF, folks. So take a big bite and don't expect any help. You're responsible for yourself. You're a rugged individual. Get prepared. All right. Chance favors the prepared mind. Thank you for all you do for us. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. And if you can, subscribe over on Patreon. Every dollar we get, folks, keeps the lights on, keeps us broadcasting, researching, talking, and networking, which is what we need to do. So we can see what's coming, so we can be prepared. Because no one's going to help us but ourselves. Godspeed, Semper Fi.